Facebook is desperately trying to repair its reputation and regain the trust of its users following the data hijacking scandal. But there may be a long road ahead before we really feel secure on social media platforms. To explain why, I'm joined by tech expert Lani Refiti. Lani, welcome once again. I'm wondering if you can first give us a brief and simple explanation of exactly what went on with Facebook and Cambridge Analytica and why we should be concerned by this.
Yeah, good question. It's the Facebook, as with all other social media platforms, internet companies, let's call them, give access to its users to third-party developers at a cost. It's part of their business model. So one of these third-party developers called Cambridge Analytica gained access via that manner to about 270,000 users, the data on them, legitimately. They opted in, so that's okay. What they did wasn't okay. Of those 270,000 users, they then collected or harvested the data of all their connections, up to 87 million Facebook users, without their consent. So where this really blew up was that in 2016, the Trump campaign hired Cambridge Analytica to formulate political advertisements based on the illegitimate data that they collected. And that may or may not have swayed the outcome of the campaign, and that's where it's blown up and become much of a furore.
And what a furore it is. How widespread then is data mining and sharing of information with third parties?
Well, you should know that this is a widely used practice in the industry. I mean, it's how internet companies essentially maximize their profits and create new streams of revenue. Think of an app that you may have on your phone that knows your location as well as your contacts. Now, this could be beneficial for a friend of yours that, say, you're having a coffee with, to help you find a cafe using its mapping features, or even suggest one based on ratings, etc. So completely beneficial, completely useful. But if you think that the app knows where you are, where you've been and where you're going, it knows what you're about to buy in terms of your shopping habits based on discount cards, etc. And it knows who you're with. On one hand, it could be very beneficial, but a different use of the data could be a gross invasion of privacy.
Just on that though, I thought our privacy was protected by regulation.
Yeah, it is somewhat. There are protections in the federal privacy regulations which were updated in 2014. The challenge is, depending on what country you're in, will define how privacy is defined, how it's policed and how it's managed, etc. So in the UK, in the European Union, they have very strict controls around it. That's good. In Australia, a little bit less so, as well as the US, and Asia even less so. So those differences cause loopholes that some of these internet companies can take advantage of.
So then just quickly, how do we minimise our risk of it affecting us?
Good question. No, and I think we've got to take control over our what we call our digital footprint online. That's what we share, as well as what we willingly give to these internet companies. Reducing that footprint is a good idea, particularly amongst our youngst. And there's also the Australian Office of the Information Commissioner has some great links on privacy tips, as well as tools that you can use to strengthen that.
Okay, some wonderful insight there. As always, Lani Refiti, thanks so much for joining us.
You're welcome, Eva.